Hello, I'm Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to an economic weather report brought to you in association with the BNZ. Today we're going to have a look at commercial property. This is something we don't normally look at, but I think it's an interesting indicator of what's happening in the economy generally and also what's happening to inflation, which of course is important for interest rates. So we'll look at CBD office space in Auckland. And what we've seen in the last 6 to 12 months is a real softening of that market. And rents are falling, and quite fast. Darroch, which forecasts rents in CBD areas, reckons that rents will fall 15 to 20% from their peak in the next 2 to 3 years. That's because of two factors: extra supply going into the market and also a real softening of demand. In Auckland, we've seen new buildings built in the Viaduct and around Britomart down by the train station. And that means that some of the people who are in older buildings elsewhere in the CBD have moved into those new buildings and created a lot of space that has to be filled. There's also softer demand, with many companies laying off staff or moving into cheaper offices out in the burbs a bit. The situation in Wellington is pretty weak too, with extra supply coming onto the market there in the next year or so. We're seeing new buildings for the IRD, for Customs and for BNZ down in Wellington. The vacancy rate there is expected to rise to 18% over the next couple of years, and rents too are expected to fall 15 to 20%. So the big picture is that at least one little part of the inflation landscape is really dropping away. Now that's going to help the Reserve Bank as it thinks about the inflation outlook in the next couple of years. However, of course, inflation and rents for CBD property is just one part of the equation. But it does show, if you're keen to renegotiate your rents or you're moving at the moment, you really want to drive a hard bargain, because there's a lot of supply, not much demand, and when you have a market that clears properly, like it does in commercial property, rents will fall quite fast and quite a long way. I'm Hickey. That was a special economic weather report brought to you in association with BNZ.